This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by Freshly. Chef-cooked healthy meals delivered to your door. Save $20 off the 6-meal plan for first-time users with code GWN639. Liquid Web. Get $49 off any VPS plan using code MMAN49. Butcher Box. Get grass-fed meats delivered to your house. Get $10 off with code MMA Nuts. Linksys.com. Awesome Wi-Fi. Free 2-day shipping on orders over $100 with code MMA2. Defense Soap. The ultimate soap for wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, and MMA athletes with the new peppermint oil bars and shower gel. Use code MMA Nuts for 15% off. Hey fans, this is MMA Nuts, episode 347!
347!
My name's Ingo Weigel.
McGregor and Zuffa show by my fans, for my fans, walk the line between serious and ridiculous. Going on? Drinking a beer.
Just enjoying a beverage. What's happening is, you know, it's August.
Little this, little that.
Little that, little this, little that. The times they are changing, Matt. It's getting hot in the day and cold in the night.
That's how we like it, right?
I think.
It's not like that. We like it frigid at night.
Yes, we do. Well, not too frigid.
Super frigid.
We need a little warmth with our cold air.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about our taping schedule?
Oh, here.
It could be like, we got weird schedules. So typically we're going to be out on Mondays. Sometime it'll be a Tuesday. We'll let you know.
Or Wednesday or Thursday. Or not at
it'll
all.
never be on that. It's either Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or
Keep you
Tuesday.
posted.
Yes. So it should be alternating most likely.
Yes.
So we'll see. But we appreciate you guys being fans of the show and dealing with our nonsense.
That's right.
So thank you. Well, this lost the battery. You want to get right into business?
Sure.
I think I'm good on the charge. So I forgot my iPad at school. So yes, I want to talk to you about something. All right. The rankings report, specifically, brought to you by the UFC rankings.
They're super legit, by the way.
Big time. And back on top is Jon Jones.
Why wasn't he there?
Well, he has been suspended.
So what? That doesn't mean he's any less of a fighter.
Yes.
In my book, he's still fighting. He's still the greatest.
All right. So he's number one. We obviously agree. Number 2, Demetrius Johnson.
Ugh.
Number 3, Conor McGregor. 4, Stipe Miocic. And number 5, Max Holloway.
Wrong.
What do you think about this top 5 list?
Daniel Cormier should be number 2.
Oh, he's at 7.
He should be number 2. The only person that's beat him between light heavyweight and heavyweight is Jon Jones.
That's a good point.
So how can you have him anywhere else?
Because the Mighty Mouse, Matt.
Fuck that guy.
Conor McGregor, of course, I think would be above Mighty Mouse in my opinion.
Mighty Mouse is not on the list. These pound for pound is just bullshit in the first place.
Let me just say, Tyron Woodley at a stark number 9.
He's not even.
Shouldn't even be in the top 10. I'm sorry.
He shouldn't even be on that list.
Ahead though of Michael Bisping, Jose Aldo, Chris Cyborg.
Yeah, there's contention. She could be top 5. If you, I think you should have you got to have a women's and you have to have a men's. We're not all the same. You can't put everybody on the same fucking list.
It's weird. Minus 4 for Daniel Cormier was at like number 3 or 2.
Yeah, I think
he dropped way back in the rankings.
Yeah.
So whoever makes these rankings can suck it because they're not
semi-retarded.
Yes, and we mean that nicely.
I don't. Hey, speaking of semi-retarded, did you see this Paulie Malignaggi?
The boxer dude?
Yeah.
Who was knocked down / KO'd by Conor McGregor?
He's like a former boxing champion, and Conor McGregor brought him in to be a sparring partner. And the pictures that you were talking about just surfaced. It said, well, they're trying to make it look like he got knocked down, and he's claiming he was pushed down, and he was on the MMA Hour, and he was saying that they basically put him up in a crack house to stay in for the week.
Crack house?
It was like some rundown house out in Vegas, I guess.
Okay.
And they're doing all the training at that new UFC, whatever that is, Performance Institute. It says he only wants yes men around him, so he's not really challenging himself.
Conor?
Yeah. Paulie said when he was running training camps, the way they would do the boxing, and I think that's how you see some of the MMA fighters, is that, you know, one guy does a few rounds, and you bring in another guy to do a few rounds, so you're always fighting someone fresh. He said when him and Conor sparred, it was just 12 rounds straight. And he said he wasn't in shape at all. Okay, so he had that, and called him a scumbag. And he was saying that Conor whines like a girl when he gets hit to the body.
Oh, yeah. Why is that?
I don't know.
Maybe he's got tender ribs.
So with all this, what do you make of it? Because this guy's also an analyst for Showtime. So is this? I don't know if this is helping sell the fight, or is this part of a stick, or is this just this guy talked some shit and then Conor wanted to beat his ass or whatever? And
I feel like it's all very soap opera-ish, and I'm not a big fan of this whole scenario. I don't like that pictures. I feel like training should be a sacred ground. I think what happens in the training room should kind of be behind closed doors, because shit happens there. People get broken. People get built up. Things happen. There's no reason to have cameras around and then also broadcast this shit all over the internet. So I wonder what the motivation is for McGregor's camp. Actually, why would they do this? Do they think it's going to make them look good? I don't know. And then on top of that, to have this guy come out and say all these negative things, I can't believe a word anybody's saying, because who knows what actually happened. Only 2 guys know what happened, maybe 3.
Or whoever else was there. Because what he was saying is that Conor brought in like Dana White, one of the Fertittas, Lorenzo, a bunch of other bigwigs, his manager.
To beat up this guy?
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
So it was like one of those. But my question is why is he staying in a crack house? If he's a Showtime out and he can't afford to, like.
Well, he could, but I don't think he's wanted to pay any money out. He was going for the experience and the fun of it to see. So he's hanging out with like the other boxers at whatever this house. And who knows what crack house is? Because crack house may be a super nice place, but not up to this guy's standards.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. So
he's just trying to disparage Conor McGregor.
I've been to crack houses. Okay, if I'm a guy who's got an income and they put me up in a crack house, I'm gonna go to a hotel the next night. Okay, I'm not gonna stay in the crack house.
Man, I get the shaft here. I'm gonna stay here for a week. I can't even get training in.
Yeah, no.
It sounds like a lot of bullshit.
It does.
And
he's butthurt.
I'm almost wondering, like, after this Mayweather fight happens with McGregor, does McGregor stay in the boxing world?
He might.
Because the money I'm going to talk about in a minute is just ridiculous. So if he can make that kind of money, and it almost sounds like he could set up a second fight with this guy after this Mayweather fight. Because
maybe they're setting up the loss already. But
a lot of bad blood.
That's why I think he will never come back to MMA. I don't think he fights MMA ever again. He doesn't need to.
He could be 0-1 and then still have another huge pay-per-view.
And it's so much less taxing on the body, unless you're getting pounded in the head, I guess. But the box versus doing MMA, you got all this other shit happening. So
it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be real difficult. And to make, I mean, you said you had money, and there's a huge purse on the line here. I mean, this fight alone with him and Mayweather.
Yeah. Let me talk to you about
billions.
That. So the rumors for this Conor McGregor fight versus Floyd Mayweather and the payouts and Zuffa. So they said, these are all rumors, so just bear with us. Conor McGregor is going to get a $75 million purse.
Not bad.
Zuffa is going to get 20% of that. So $15 million. So Conor's going to get $60 million. Zuffa's going to get $15 million.
That seems a lot less than he should be getting, though.
And wait, there's more. Then Conor's going to get 20% of the total pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
And Zuffa's going to get half of that.
Okay.
So just throwing out some numbers. So say the pay-per-view does 5 million buys. That's $500 million right there.
Holy
but I
shit
think
balls.
that's
a lot of money.
I think when they do the pay-per-view that they take half. So I'm just going to estimate $250 million is what's available. And under that scenario, Conor gets $25 million. Zuffa gets $25 million. So totaling it out for this fight, just a rough estimate, if we did 5 million buys, Conor gets paid $85 million and Zuffa gets $40 million. So basically Zuffa's getting 32%. It's a 68-32 split. Is that fair?
I think it's fair. Actually, I would say that's actually really fair, because I was going to guess they would do half and half, but I think for them to license him out, being under their umbrella, and giving him 2/3, I think it's actually really, I'm surprised.
Pretty good. I mean, because a lot of it, I mean, he's guaranteed like the $60 million, if this is all correct, $60 million just to show up. And then based on what the pay-per-view does, I mean, I'm just conservatively saying it's going to be 5. I mean, it could go 6.
6, 7,
could go
8, 10. Who knows?
I know they're having a hard time selling tickets, but they're charging way too much for the tickets.
Insanely. Wow. So he could stand to make like $100 million almost, and that's the most any MMA fighter's ever made in history.
Yeah.
Ever.
So, and if you come back to MMA or the UFC, okay, so you just made $85 million for this fight. What the hell are you gonna accept as your next fight in MMA?
That's a great question.
I mean, if I just made $85 million, I probably need to make half of that to come back, and I think you could command that.
40 million, but well, if he wins, I think he runs.
Oh my God!
If he runs the show. He can do whatever he wants. He can fight Brock Lesnar next if he wants to.
He wins.
And he makes it.
Jesus Christ!
It'd be crazy. But
I think if he wins, I think he's got to go down the boxing road.
What if
his next pay-per-view for that? Jesus
couple $100 million.
Christ.
He knocks Mayweather out. Let's say that happens. What I mean, think about that. So, yeah, I don't know. The question is, man, that's so much money. I think I'm shocked it's fair. I feel like, okay, here's a guy who's running the show. He's the guy doing it. He's setting the he's setting the pace for MMA fighters. This is the blueprint. If you want to make shit happen, you want to run the show, you got to be like Conor McGregor. You got to do your thing, which is why I think Jon Jones has taken a page out of the book of I want to fight Brock Lesnar. He's trying to take the same road, you know, and I don't know whose idea that is, but whoever's idea it was, it's genius.
Smart.
It's very smart. If he can set this up the same way, Jon Jones could be boxing for the heavyweight freaking title. Think about that. That's crazy talk. But, I mean, I don't know. One thing I remember that I think Ash from Flow, he said this to me and a couple other guys I talked to before who fought both MMA and boxing. The one thing they always say, like, oh, I like boxing because it's less of a fight. Like, he's like, MMA is like, it's a lot more of a fight. And so
yeah, I feel like the consequences are so much more drastic. Like the chance for an injury in MMA has to be 100% higher than in boxing. Like
Yes.
It's night and day, because what's the worst that's going to happen to you in boxing?
You get knocked out.
Right. Or what's the worst that happens to you in MMA?
Broken bones.
Broken bones. You fight Paul Harris, a shredded knee. I mean,
joints.
Run the gamut.
Whatever.
Right.
Plus, just the grueling aspect of a 25 minute.
Like how about cuts?
Cuts, I mean, So I'm excited for this. It's too bad. I got plans already. Damn it, I'm going to miss it. But it's probably going to, watch, it's going to be a dud of a fight.
Well, I have this discussion with my brother about who I think is going to win. I told him, like, I know this isn't, 100% scientific, but I think McGregor's going to win. He's like, what? He's a former boxer, so he's like,
no way.
Like, call me out on this. He's like, I don't give a fuck. There's no way. And I had him going today. So
it would be crazy if McGregor won. I think he probably doesn't have much of a chance, but maybe he does.
Well, it's again, it comes down to that mental thing, and it's hard to just put all your eggs in that basket to say if he believes it, it can happen. And how can you bank on that? It's hard. On the one sense, he's done everything he said he's gonna do.
Yeah.
How can I bet against that? On the other side, it's like he's got no fucking boxing. I mean, he's got some stuff as a kid, but this guy's got a lifetime. He's the best boxer, defensive
Ray Mercer
boxer
did come
ever.
out and knock out Tim Sylvia, if you recall.
Right.
So it is possible to go into another sport and create chaos.
So,
yeah,
we shall see.
It's interesting. There's a lot of money on the table, and I'm glad it's being doled out somewhat fairly, it seems like. So let's talk something else here. Speaking of boxing and head trauma and all kinds of things, Ray Longo was on the MMA Junkie radio show recently, and they were talking about how in their gym is very much a thing they monitor. If a guy's been concussed in sparring or even in a fight, he said, yeah, the commission will say, okay, no contact for such period of time. He's like, but nobody can enforce that shit. Like, the gym has to enforce it. So a lot of times guys get put on break for officially, but then they're still in the gym sparring because there's no one there to police it.
Yeah.
He's like, at their gym, they don't do that. They have a lot of testing they do where they test cognition of fighters. Weidman is still under their umbrella, of course. And then you have guys under their, like Pete Sell, who basically is like, we love Pete Sell, but he's not fighting out of this gym. Like, it's like, dude, he's had enough. Like, there's not going to happen.
I find that shocking.
Yeah, well, he's had a rough career. But he's only 29, and, he's been through some shit, that guy. So I think it's great that a veteran guy, a veteran gym, is taking the initiative to take care of the fighters. Because as you mentioned a couple shows ago, NFL has, like 90-some%.
Yeah, it's like 99.9% CTE.
Yeah. What's MMA? So here's a gym trying to do it right. I mean, you think this is a good approach? You feel like they're onto something?
We gotta look out for the concussions, because that shit's gonna come around and bite everybody in the ass at some point. And again, it goes back to the trainers and the gym. You have to have someone looking out for the safety of the fighter, and if not them, because there's a weird relationship as the gym owner, or the trainer, however you want to look at it. They have a financial incentive to put that person out there, but you also have a human perspective to look at of, what do you want this guy eating fucking oatmeal for the rest of his life?
Right, through a straw.
Right. I mean, you got to look at both sides. It's not all about dollars and cents. You got to look at the person at some point and say, man, it's not all worth it. So
some people don't have this kind of conscience though. They kind of just like,
no.
You know.
But I think it's a good thing, and hopefully other gyms will follow suit.
Yeah.
We got to be proactive instead of reactive.
Yes, sir.
So I saw Darren Rovell tweeted out that Mayweather has a hat made out of stingray and calf skin, baseball hat.
Nice.
And it was up for $450. He said it sold out on the TMT website, and you can't really see, but I think it's the bill of the hat.
Is this stingray?
Yeah, stingray and calf skin. How many did we sell?
Us?
No, them. They said it sold out.
12.
I don't know.
That's like the Kanye West white shirt. Remember I told you that?
Yeah.
It's a white T-shirt, and
Like,
it costs
what the
120 bucks, and they couldn't keep them in stock.
That's
crazy.
What's the other stupid brand? Big Baller brand, whoever that kid is?
Big
Ball,
Baller.
the basketball player that just got
Ball.
signed by the Lakers.
Oh, I can't remember. Yeah.
But they had some ridiculous thing too. Like he didn't want to sign with Nike or any of the other sponsors because they weren't going to pay him enough. So they made their own brand. They're charging like $400 or $500. Yeah. Like, who are you going after, and who is paying that kind
It's
of
the
money
youth,
for
man.
shit?
The youth. They've been. It's the youth. That's.
But which youth has that kind of money?
The parents do, or they shoot each other for the damn shoes or whatever. The hat is ridiculous. I mean,
Do you want to be on the money team?
no, I do not. Fuck them.
I would wear a stingray and calf shirt, but you know what the problem is? I can't wear a fucking hat with a flat bill.
That's the
Go
thing
fuck
now.
yourself. You gotta have a bend in that bitch.
You do that. My son likes the flat bill. That's the hot thing now. I'm like,
Oh,
why are you like? You gotta turn his dad. Don't touch my hat. Like, okay, cool.
I'll put a sweet bend in this, all right?
Sorry, dude. It's not the thing to do. It's considered somewhat hillbilly-ish to have the bend.
Oh,
nowadays.
then I am 100% hillbilly. I'm barefoot and pregnant then.
Are you?
Why not?
I don't know. That's a ridiculous show, by the way. It's Honey Boo Boo or whatever.
Oh, I don't know. I have cousins.
I think there's a show.
Well,
Barefoot.
I have cousins from West Virginia, and when I went to visit them, they were barefoot and pregnant.
Yeah, that's the way to be.
Hey, everybody's got a little hillbilly in them. What are you gonna do?
Hillbilly?
That's right. IaQuinta tweeted out, "I really wish they'd replace Snoop Dogg on the Contender Series.
With who?
Guy has no respect or knowledge of the sports or fighters. It's constant mockery." So a bunch of fellow and current fighters were in support of that and tweeted out they agree. So Matt Brown, Tim Means, and Pat Miletich also joined in on this. And then Snoop also said that Daniel Cormier got what he deserved. Jon Jones had him crying like a little bitch. So how do you feel about this Snoop Dogg thing? I mean, we were talking about it a couple weeks ago, and I was kind of mixed feelings on this. And now you have to look at it. I guess you have a sport. The organization is hosting this. So.
I feel like they're playing to the lowest common denominator, and I think they should be better than that. But then at the same time, I wonder if I'm stupid for considering that they actually had a conscience and some sort of moral ground. Because look what they've done with the fighters and everything else involving the sport in the last 2 or 3 years. So I would say that this is par for the course for the UFC.
Well,
you know?
it's funny that you mentioned that the lowest common denominator, because this is the same conversation I had with my brother. We're talking about, like, what the fuck is going on? Why are we getting to this point? And, you know, I'm okay with these guys doing whatever this is, commentary, because there is that thing that people would say, if you don't like it, don't listen. But the UFC shouldn't be hosting this shit. Like, it can exist, and I'm fine with that, but I have a problem with that's where I think I was trying to get to before, but I couldn't figure out what is wrong with this. Like, it's because the UFC is hosting it.
It's a good
like,
web
you
show.
can't be the owner of the organization hosting somebody that's going to be disrespectful to the fighters.
Right.
Right or wrong. I mean, I don't personally like it. I know a lot of the fans like it.
I can't watch it. I like Snoop too. I'm like, man, I can't do it. Sorry, Snoop. Can't do it. And I don't know why they pulled Uriah Faber in on this nonsense. He seems like a really smart guy. I don't know what his role is.
Trying to balance it out, probably.
Yeah, but why would he set himself up to be involved with this nonsense? That's my thing. He's a smart businessman. You could tell from the way he's running.
Maybe there's a lot of money involved in that.
That could be that too. But I feel like this would be a better podcast than a freaking subsidized TV show. It should, right. But the podcast, do whatever you want. Go get crazy, man. But yeah.
Do you think the UFC will ever get rid of Snoop Dogg?
Yes. I think this is a one and done.
Yeah, I don't know how long. I think they've done 4.
I thought it was something. I read something like an 8 or 10 week thing. I bet it's one season run and that's it. Yeah. I don't see this going longer than that. I'd be shocked. Next thing you know, he's going to be commentating on the pay-per-view. Watch.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, what would happen if Joe Rogan said some of this shit that Snoop Dogg said?
They'd kill him.
Or any of the bloggers.
He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't.
Stan. What if Stan just decided to go rogue?
He might. Oh, he's gonna actually have some feeling and maybe he just needs to get a little liquored up.
Like, why is Daniel Cormier crying like a little bitch? Like, what?
Yeah.
American hero cannot be saying this shit. What else you got?
Michael Bisping says the GSP fight official for UFC 217 at MSG November 4th. Apparently this shit's gonna happen. They tried to do this multiple times, and now he says it's a done deal. I tend to believe the man. Yeah. Because he knows what he's talking about. So I'm excited for this. I think it'll be good. I think you got a good matchup. It's the right time, and GSP's coming back. I'm excited.
Bisping wins.
I think he's bigger than GSP.
And no USADA or no drugs, GSP is no good.
You think do you think that GSP was one of those guys that spoke highly against doping and actually did a lot of it himself?
Yeah, because I think the one time that he didn't use it was against Johnny Hendricks. Because remember how adamant he was about the drug testing for that fight? And I think he did his own WADA. I don't even know at that point, but he did some sort of drug testing. Johnny was like, fuck you and your drug testing. I wonder why. And then, GSP suffers like he absorbs the most amount of strikes I think he ever has in his career in that fight, and arguably lost. I agree. Both are books, right?
Yeah. Well, noticeably in his last 3 fights, he definitely took more damage than in his previous 10. Yeah. So it was like, whoa, what's happening here? But maybe he got out at just the right time. But now he's coming back. I'm excited. I think Bisping has a good chance to beat him. Definitely. Probably even finish him, potentially.
Maybe. Or maybe GSP is on the best shit ever because he's got so much money that it's super undetectable. There was a thread running around on Reddit, and I forgot to send it over to you about, I think this guy was a former coach in the Olympics, and he was putting everybody on cocktails of shit. And there was some stat that came out showing like all the 100-meter sprinters and pretty much how many of them got flagged for testing positive for some sort of performance-enhancing drug. And like out of all the top 30 times, Usain Bolt was the only person that hadn't tested positive for something, even though he probably is on something.
What do you think he's on?
Everything. But this guy was saying there's still a ton of designer shit that you can make that's undetectable by any fucking test that they have out right now.
I'm sure.
And he had it down to a science. It was probably like that Victor Conte guy. I don't know how dialed in he was, but this guy seemed along the same lines that you can manufacture anything to the designer level that is undetectable. So who knows? Maybe the GSP. You have the money, you can beat everything. But they're way too far behind. They're like 3 steps behind if you have the money.
Yeah, but I thought they were keeping samples for like 7 years or something.
No, at some point they'll catch you.
That's a question.
But at that point, does it even matter? Like, okay, Lance Armstrong, they caught him. Does it matter?
I don't think so. I think cycling is probably one of those sports where you go like, man, how are those people even alive with all the shit that they put in themselves?
Pretty much.
It becomes, I'd almost rather they just disclose what they're taking and have a doctor monitor what the hell's going on to make sure no one dies. But I don't know. Yeah, they're probably all on some good shit.
And that's how it should be. Everybody should be on something.
On the good shit? Well, especially as you get up in age, you can't train like that. It's impossible.
No, can't.
No.
And then it's funny because that ties right into this Frank Mir. He said he's negotiating with Bellator and ACB. He said he wants to fight Fedor. He had an interview the other day. He said he's happy now because he can go back to the doctor since there's no more USADA.
Ooh.
He said he feels great.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
So, do you think we see a resurgence from Frank Mir wherever he lands or ends up?
Perhaps, but he just said this out loud. He probably should have kept it quiet. But
it doesn't matter. What are they gonna do?
You can do
be on
jiu-jitsu.
TRT.
Yeah, you can. No, I think he makes a good point. Yeah, it's good for him. I like it.
Aged fighter. I think he could kick ass in Bellator.
Yeah, he could.
What else? Chael Sonnen stated his next opponent in Bellator.
Who is it?
Will probably be Chuck Liddell.
Oh, nice.
Do you have any interest in that fight?
No, I don't care. I want Chuck to stay retired.
Why? You don't think he'd beat Chael?
Probably would.
I think he would.
Probably could knock Chael out.
I hope so. I don't really like watching Chael fight. It's kind of boring.
Not anymore. No. The shtick is worn off for me.
What else? There's some stories coming out that Tyron Woodley had a torn hamstring going into that fight with Demian Maia, and then he also tore his shoulder, his labrum. Does that make his win any more impressive?
Nah. Fuck him.
I agree.
Fuck him.
It was shit either way.
Good. Fuck him, as Matt Serra likes to say.
Can't just run away the whole time.
Shouldn't be in the top 10 for all-time greatest.
Not at all. He's the greatest welterweight of ever.
Maybe.
Jon Jones has an app out called Bones Emoji, or Bones Emoji. You can get all your Bones Jones emojis. So here's a list. I think the best is that one with the broken toe.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Just a little weird. I think the funny thing are the screenshots from the app where these are so dope. Like, what? Why am I going to say that? And then the other one is a picture of Jones, and it equals the GOAT. Like,
awesome.
are you that smug?
He is smug. Maybe he didn't even make that up.
I'm sure he didn't, but he had to prove that.
Maybe.
You're the fucking GOAT. I mean, you are, but don't put that in your fucking app. And who's buying this shit? I don't use emojis, do you?
Yeah, I have that Bitmoji or whatever. That's pretty funny. I haven't sent you any yet, but I'm going to blow up your phone with that.
Oh, awesome. I know I have them. I just never was. Winky, smiley face. I think I've used that twice.
Have you?
But I like the old school, like characters, not the actual pictures.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's weird. What else? I know I just skipped something here. UFC 214 rumored to do 850,000 buys.
Not bad.
We kind of talked about that, but that seems to be the official number now.
Okay.
Moving along. Bob Sapp just lost again. I want to show you this fight, and you could tell me about this strike. Gotta fast forward.
Is it one of those? Oh, he's down. Why is he down?
Oh, I like when I mute it and it doesn't mute. That's
my phone does that sometimes.
Incredible. So we're gonna fast forward.
Got some video for me? Ooh.
It's a kickboxing match.
Okay. Oh, gold
It's
gloves.
happened in France.
Got gold gloves, huh? These boys look in shape. What the? What happened?
What dropped him?
I don't know.
Was it the left hand or that right to the body?
You get kicked?
Waiting.
A jab? Got knocked down from a jab. Amazing. The guy's got a hell of a jab.
Fuck? So his record, he's lost his last 14 of 16 kickboxing matches, majority in round 1. 11 and 20 in MMA, 14 losses in a row. Why the fuck is anybody employing this guy?
Because he's a fan favorite. He's a big old dude. It's a spectacle, man.
I don't know, dude. We gotta get rid of him.
Okay.
Move right along. Ask the nuts.
Please.
Dude, bro, if Jon Jones doesn't fight Brock Lesnar next, what's the next biggest fight for him?
Rumble Johnson!
Pretty big.
I like that one. GSP.
GSP would get so killed.
Conor
He's
McGregor.
so tiny.
I
had a thought. What if Luke Rockhold moved up to challenge him? You just beat my AKA brother. I would challenge you for the title.
Rockhold is a big guy.
Yeah, I like that fight actually. I want to see it because it looks like. Yeah, I think Jones even said it himself that Brock Lesnar fight isn't going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like Rumble. If he has to stick in straight 205, Rumble. Rematch with Gustafsson. It's just nothing does it for me, you know? It's not like, oh, I got to see that fight. The Brock Lesnar fight, I got to see that fight. Anybody else? I'd be in for a Luke Rockhold, but I don't know anybody else. Brandon Mason asks, if DC moves back up to heavyweight, who do you think would be a better matchup for him? Hunt, Overeem, or Werdum?
Better matchup as in, can he win?
Yeah.
Probably Overeem.
I like him against Hunt.
Yeah?
I'd rank it Hunt, Overeem, Werdum as best chances for him to win.
Okay.
I think Werdum poses the most challenge.
Yes, I agree. I thought Overeem would be the least challenging, perhaps. But, yeah.
Well, I think Hunt he's been not so successful of late, even though he's super heavy-handed. But I think Cormier will just fucking ragdoll him.
Probably.
We're getting close. Jaron Christensen asks, who is the biggest overachiever and underachiever in MMA?
Overachiever?
Forrest Griffin.
Really? Overachiever?
Yeah.
Forrest Griffin?
He got the title, and I don't think he was that good.
I wouldn't have guessed that. But that's interesting. You brought that up. They went old school on me.
Underachiever?
It's hard to argue, actually.
BJ Penn.
Yeah, BJ Penn.
I think he could have been a lot better.
For sure. Both Diaz brothers
are under.
Yeah, I think they fucked themselves constantly. Jon Jones is, although he's at the pinnacle, I think he could do so much better if he just didn't have all those personal problems.
I'm gonna go back to trying to think who else. Overachiever did better. Underachiever Brandon Vera.
Yeah, but wait, he was gonna have titles in both.
I would never. I bought into that one.
Yes,
Line
you
and
did.
sinker. I'll still bring him up every time.
It's all good.
I think of other overachievers.
Overachievers?
Yeah. Who's good? That isn't really good. Bisping. Debatable.
Yeah, you make a case. He has the belt.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Debatable. Move along?
Yes.
All right. Unreviewable channel, close it out. It's time. Pound sign Nuts Rule. Pound sign Matt Rabe Train. Pound sign Ingo Sugar Daddy. Would you rather date someone with the perfect body or with the perfect moves in the bedroom? I don't know what the perfect moves in the bedroom are.
I don't either. So it's like 400 pounds but has great moves?
That's
or,
fine.
Or a smoking
I'm
hot,
in.
Or a
Like
smoking
Flynn.
hot body and sucks in the bedroom? Is that what you're saying?
I've been there, done that. No
I think
good.
the moves are better as you get
Yep.
older. You gotta have the moves.
Gotta have the moves.
Yeah.
Would you rather win $1 million but only get 10%, and the other 90% goes to your worst enemy, and he will misuse the money? Or win $1 million and be forced to donate to any charity of your choosing?
I'll take the charity.
I agree. You don't
Fuck
want a
my
shit
enemy.
ton of money. Well, you just don't want a shit ton of money. Just gonna cause more problems. You didn't really earn it. Would you rather fuck the top half of Valentino Shevchenko on the bottom half of Juliana Pena, or the top half of Juliana Pena on the bottom half of Valentina?
I'll take Shevchenko's top half. I cannot look at Pena's face.
I agree. I'm gonna post pictures, and her top half is frightening.
It is.
And Valentina, when she gets makeup put on, like the picture I'm gonna post,
Looking quite fetching,
pretty
huh?
nice. And then I gotta get my phone up for this next one. So he's throwing a little curveball at us this time.
Okay.
Says, I got a different game for you guys this time. This time it's fuck, marry, kill, and baby.
Oh, baby. Oh, Jesus.
So basically you choose one to sleep with,
I
one to
don't wanna
marry
have
and
babies.
sleep with. But you have to deal with the marriage that comes with, except the children for that one. One to kill, one to have a child with. And you can choose if you're going to raise it together or not. So it's fuck, marry, kill, and have a baby with.
Okay.
So we start with, and this is the 4 horsewomen of WWE. So first we start with Bailey. So we have her.
That's pretty nice.
And then we move to Becky Lynch.
Oh, jeez. Okay. She looks
And
dirty.
then Charlotte Flair.
Oh, yeah. This is my least favorite so far.
And then Sasha Banks.
All right. We got to kill. It's a toss-up. She looks like. Okay. We got to kill Sasha Banks.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and fuck Charlotte Flair. Oh, that's tough. Baby? What, does baby mean marriage or no marriage?
Yeah.
Does it be 2 marriages?
Yeah.
We'll do baby with this one, Bailey.
Okay.
And marriage, Becky Lynch. She looks dirty.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm with you. I am babying the Becky Lynch.
Gosh, that redhead. You said, was she really a redhead?
I don't know.
She just looks nasty. Like she's like want to be spanked or
I'm
something.
gonna kill Bailey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck Sasha, and then I'll marry Charlotte Flair.
You're gonna marry Charlotte Flair?
Why not? It looks like a lot of fun.
The blonde?
Sure.
Okay. Blondes are crazy, Matt. Be careful with the blondes.
True. Knowledge. You got anything? I don't have anything.
Well, not so much knowledge as in I'm thinking about something.
Sure.
It's been on my mind for a couple of years, and I think this might be the year. I'm thinking about doing the Chicago Marathon. It's
how many miles is this?
26.2. It's
How long does it take? 7 hours?
No.
Well, 26 miles.
It should be about 4 to 5 hours. Like, I can do a 6-mile clip in about an hour, maybe slightly less.
You better have some good shoes. It's August. The blisters and go.
It's in October. I'm thinking like it's one of those things where like it's something I can say I've done that. They, you know, like I think some crazy percentage, like less than 1% of the population in the world has ever done a marathon. So I'm thinking about it really hard, and I'm thinking about starting training tomorrow morning. Like that's
because you have all this free time.
Huh?
Because you have a lot of free time.
It doesn't take a lot of training. Like, well, it does, but it doesn't.
You're gonna have to be running lots of miles. What do you mean?
That's
you have
not
to be
good. I already
doing hours of training.
I run 3 miles. 3 miles? No.
That ain't
I
gonna
run
work.
3 times a week already, and I would have to either do that or just add 1 more day. Wouldn't be that far of a stretch. I don't know. I'm thinking.
You gotta be training like 5 days a week.
No.
Yes.
4.
Huh?
4. You need 2 rest days. The 3 to 4 running days, and then 1 like cross training day, and then a rest day or 2. It's all good. Thinking about it. Really thinking about it. What do you think? Think I should do it?
I think you should get on some TRT
and then run a marathon.
And run flat out. Just fucking, I'll shoot you up with the biggest dose ever. Just fucking plowing people over. Out of my way, bitch!
I go 100 yards and be like leading the pack and then drop dead.
Yeah, that's fine.
It was a good start.
That's right. You just gotta carry that pace on for 26 miles.
That's a long way. I don't know. It's one of those things. I've always wanted to do it, and I'm like, man, I wonder if I could do it.
You can do it. It's just, how does your body handle it?
Probably badly.
That's the other thing about these
I'm gonna
days.
be dying.
Like how old I am and how does my body feel after I do something vigorous?
Painful.
Yeah. Might be worth it.
Maybe I should poll the fans, if whoever's still watching. The 2 people who are still watching, should I do it or not? Let me know in the comments.
Should he do it? Well, what else? What are your other options? Do you have any other options of stuff to do?
2 chicks at the same time?
Well, besides that, I mean, that's everyone's goal.
Yeah. Maybe I do the marathon and then do 2 chicks at the same time.
Right. Maybe you have 2 chicks ready for you at the. Well, you're gonna need a good month off before you're gonna need to recover.
I know guys who are not runners who did it the last few years, and they say it's a couple days, you feel sore, but overall it's all right.
Wasn't Keith talking about running a marathon?
Was he? I don't know.
I thought him and Marilyn were just discussing that.
I don't know. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, I thought they were.
Really? That would be something.
Yeah, that's something.
Is he gonna be drinking Jack the whole time?
Probably. It's fast.
That's how he's gonna get through the pain. He's gonna just numb up with Jack.
Well, if you had some weed and you could get high as fuck, then I think it's. That's what I keep hearing. Is the runners like they get high as shit and then they just go because you can just zone out.
I wonder if I can wear headphones for this 4-hour trip. I'm sure
that'd be helpful.
Yeah, just get in the zone, get some music, get a playlist,
get a mix. Yeah.
Just ride that train. As long as it's not going to be 90 degrees. There was one year where it was super hot.
People are fucking dying.
Yeah, they were. But if it's in the 60s, 60s, I think like 60s, 50s is perfect running weather. It's good. Just cruise. I don't know. I'm going to sleep on it. And when I wake up in the morning, if I run and I feel like I'm just going to go for it. Fucking marathon. 26.2.
Just run 20 miles. See how it feels.
Huh?
Run like 10 miles.
I've gone 12. 12 and it was a little painful. But I feel like if I have motivation, I might do like a charity thing. A couple charities I saw that you can get people to run for charity. Maybe that's something I do. Run for cancer. I gotta think about it. I'm like right there. But if I want to do it, I probably have to start training like tomorrow.
Well, when is the
October 9th?
You should have been training already.
Well, I do run.
You got 2 months.
I run 3 times a week. It's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, there's one thing of running, and there's also one thing of running 26 miles.
3 5Ks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every week. So whatever that is, 10 miles. Not a lot, but.
All right. Anything else?
No.
Shut down.
That's been this week's edition of MMANUTS. I'm saying goodbye.
Not good. What's your plan?